Okay, 11b, we want to solve this equation and write the answer in interval notation. So for this one, you can do this by either the table method or number line method. This time, let me solve this one by using number line. There's a table method that's given in the key, so this time I want to do it by I'll do it by number line method. So if you do the number line method in this case, what you want to do first is on your number line, you're going to put the numbers that make each of these individual things 0. So if you set each of these individually equal to 0, you get 1, 3, and -2. So I'm going to put these down here on the number line. I'm going to do -2, and then I have a 1 and a 3. When you do this, you want to actually plug in your test values, but you're plugging it into the entire thing at once. And so I'm going to put the test values underneath here. I'm going to circle them here. So a number less than -2, I can use -3. In between a negative and a positive, I can always use a 0. Between 1 and 3, I can use a 2 for a test number. And then this one's going to be a 4. Notice that I write these circled, I'm writing them underneath. I don't want to put them right next to it, because if I do, I may accidentally grab the wrong number for my answer. So I want to write them underneath like this. Each of these, I'm going to plug them into the original one, and I want to indicate whether I get a positive or negative value that I have on my number line. So first, let's do test value of -3. Now I don't need to write all this out. All I'm concerned about are the signs. So when I write this, all I need to do is put -3 into the first one. If I put -3 into the first one, I get 1 minus -3, that's positive, so I get a plus. Next, if I put -3 into this one here, -3 minus 3 is -6, but I'm squaring it. That's also going to give me something that is positive. On the bottom, I put -3 plus 2 is negative. So as a result, I get positive, 2 positives on top, which is positive, divided by a negative, will give me a negative as a result, which means that I'll have a negative here on my number line. Let's do the next one. We're going to do 0. Okay, so 0, we're going to plug into each of these. 1 minus 0 is positive. Okay. 0 minus 3 is -3 squared. That's going to be positive. 0 plus 2 is also positive. And so the ending result is I get a plus here. Next, I'm putting in the test value of 2. When I put a 2 in here, 1 minus 2 is negative. 2 minus 3 is negative, but then I square it, becomes positive. In the bottom, I have 2 plus 2 is positive. So then I get 1 negative here. The ending result is a minus. So I have a minus on top right there. The last thing I'll do is I want to test the value of 4 inside there. So for 4, 1 minus 4, negative. 4 minus 3 is positive. Square it, you're still going to get something positive. 4 plus 2, positive. So once again, I get another negative. So I get a negative right there. Now, this is going to be my final sign configuration. I would get exactly the same thing if I did it by the table method. So I still get the same results. And that was the same result that we got in the key here. Now the last thing we're going to do is write the answer. Now because you see a greater than or equal to 0, that means you're looking for positives. If you have a less than or equal to 0, you're looking for negatives. But in this case, we're looking for positives. So we'll write our answer. The only place where there was a positive that came out was this one right here, between -2 and 1. Usually if you have a equal sign, you're going to use brackets on your answer, but we need to be careful on this one because -2 causes the bottom to be a 0. So even though I have an equal sign here where normally I would use a bracket like I'm going to use on the 1, I have to use a parenthesis on -2. Again, whatever number makes the bottom 0, that cannot be included for your answer. So whatever makes the bottom 0 is always going to be a parenthesis. So your final answer would be this.